If you'd like to add some easy speed to your golf swing, you're going to love today's lesson. I got 3 simple ideas that you can incorporate right now to immediately start hitting longer flying golf shots. These are things we talk about here day in and day out at the Academy, real common issues that I know are going to apply to you in your game. Let's dig in. For most golfers, you got to start by looking at your grip. Most golfers are higher handicap golfers, and up to 90% of golfers are slicing their golf balls, and you're slicing your golf ball because that club face is open to the swing path. And the club face is open to the swing path for a lot of you because you simply have too weak of a gripping position. So if you think about grip in terms of terminology, we hear these labels: neutral, weak, and strong. So I would say a neutral grip has both hands turned just a little bit away from the target. I would say what you're looking at right here with my hand position represents a relatively neutral grip. So off of neutral, if your grip is weak, that means one, if not both hands are turned too much towards the target. And when you have your hands turned too much towards the target, for most players, not all players, this club face is going to get a little bit open to the shaft. And if the club face is open to the shaft and to the ball, that club face is going to be open to the direction the club is traveling, which is what we call the swing path. So if we have a weak grip, for a lot of players, not all players, if we have a weak grip, the club face gets open. An open face is going to create a glancing blow between the face and the ball. An open face is also going to be delivering more loft at impact than is stamped on the bottom of the club based on the number, right, that you're trying to hit right here. So we could say that a weak grip, for a lot of players, creates a weak hit. Glancing blow, increasing loft, that is a high, short flying slice. So if I had a stronger grip with both hands turned a little bit more away from the target, instead of this club face playing open to the shaft, which means it would be open to the path, now this club face is going to play a little bit more close to the shaft, coming into the ball a little bit more close to the path. So if I have a club face that is close to the swing path, now I'm starting to get a little bit more of a solid hit or a solid strike. And also, players that play with the club face a little bit more on the closed side versus the open side, well, they have to come into the ball with a little bit more forward shaft lean with their weight forward. So now they're actually taking a little bit of loft off the face into the strike as opposed to adding loft too, right? So if I got a 5-iron right here, right, at bare minimum, I'm delivering a 5-iron. But if I got that club face a little bit closed and I have to lean the shaft a little bit more to keep that club face more matching the path into contact, well, now I'm turning my 5 into a 4-iron or a 4 hybrid. So we could say that if a weak grip for some players can create a weak hit, then a stronger grip can also produce a stronger hit. So the terms weak and strong aren't relative to pressure, they're relative to position. And if you're looking at your hands and you're unsure if they're strong enough, I would try and take that lead hand and rotate it about 45 degrees across the top of the club. That's going to be a lot stronger than a lot of you slicers out there. From there, with this trail hand, try and get the trail hand turned a little bit more under the club too, so it's very closely matching the angle of the lead hand. Now, for a lot of you out there that don't have an issue slicing the golf ball, this grip's going to be too strong. But if all you see is high, short slice all day long, well, we need to look at our attachment to the club, and I'd recommend erring on the side of caution, being a little bit on the stronger side of neutral versus the weaker side of neutral. And the other thing that you need to be able to do is make sure that this grip is down in your fingers with the heel pad of your hand up on top. So with my heel pad on top, I get a lot of range of motion out of my wrist hinge. I'm going to need that range of motion to create some speed, not only through my connection to the club, but also the movement of my wrist throughout that connection. If I have the grip too much in the palm of my hand right there, like a lot of slicers do, you can see how I don't get a whole lot of range of motion out of my wrist action. Look at how short of a distance that club head can leave the ground in the palm versus in the fingers, right? So how you're connected to the club, stronger grip, stronger hit. Make sure that that heel pad of that lead hand is also on top so you can create some range of motion out of the wrists. That's a great place to start, especially if you're hitting short shots and you're also on the slice-biased side of the ball flight spectrum. So once we have the grip a little bit stronger, strong grip, strong hit, Next place we're going to look is at the movement of our hands and arms relative to our lever system on both sides of the swing. So if you're creating a sound backswing and you look right at that golf club over your trail shoulder, you should see this relationship. 3 sides to a square, club shaft, forearm, and bicep. So that's telling me that I've gotten my lead wrist and club hinged to 90 degrees, while my trail elbow is also bent to 90 degrees. And if I have those two things happening, if I look at the trail arm alone with the golf club, it's 1, 2, 3 sides to a square. So whatever's happening on this side of the swing is reciprocating itself on this side of the swing. So into my follow through, now I look at the lead arm, look what I got. I got 3 sides to a square, 1, 2, and 3. So from this stronger grip, if you can go from one square to another square, 3 sides that is, the faster I can go from square to square, the faster the club's traveling down here through the impact zone. So people that struggle with speed, well, they normally show up with a grip that gets the face too open, glancing blow versus more solid hit. They have a grip that's increasing loft versus decreasing loft. And they also have a grip and movement with their hands and arms where they're not getting enough hinge in their wrists or they're not getting the appropriate amount of hinge out of their elbows on both sides. Right? So we take this grip, make sure that we create a little bit of range of motion in our wrists, tapping the ground a couple of times, make your backswing, 1, 2, 3 sides to a square, make your follow through, 1, 2, 3 sides to a square. Practice making 1/2 to 3/4 swings, going from one square to the other, and you'll create a lot more speed in the middle where the ball is. So the final thing we're going to talk about here is the position of this lead arm and lead elbow in particular through impact into the follow-through. And I run quite a few golf schools here at the Academy. And if I have 12 people sign up for a golf school, if I'm looking at their day one videos, I would say up to 90% look like this in the follow-through. The glove hand is above the trail hand. The lead elbow is pointing up towards the sky, and we also start to see some bend or fold out of that lead arm position. And when we get that through the ball, that is a slow-moving club where the club face is generally still coming in open to the path. So if I were to take this tennis racket, and I've used this in other tips you may have seen online, we can start to understand the influence of this elbow joint relative to the rotation of the face and also the speed that you get out of it or not. So if I keep this racket face up towards the sky, this way, with my elbow pointed up and behind me, and the logo of my glove pointed up towards the ceiling, I get some speed, but not a whole lot. And I would call that a dead racket face right there. Now if I take this lead elbow and rotate it more down, so the pocket of my elbow looks up, and the logo of my glove looks more behind me, right? Watch and also hear how that amount of speed is changing quite a bit. So whereas when I had the face and the elbow and the glove logo up, not a whole lot of speed, not a whole lot of noise. And then when I got the elbow down, with the glove logo behind me, now I picked up a lot of pace, right? So elbows down, lead elbow, and also my trail elbow, right, into my follow-through, I would say that that move would be a club head accelerator because it's closing the face, which is adding speed, and it's also helping me get my arms at full extension, which is also adding speed as opposed to getting into this chicken wing position I know a lot of you are trying to get out of out there. So if we put these 3 tips together, we go, okay, stronger grip gets that club face a little bit more closed versus open. Well, stronger grip can create a stronger hit, also taking some loft away. If we look at the lever system, if I can go from 3 sides to a square to 3 sides to a square, now I'm getting a lot more speed through the impact zone, through the cracking of the whip, as we say. And if I can get through the ball with my lead elbow more down, versus up, right? Well, then I've got the components in my gripping position, my lever system, and my release to pick up some easy speed. So there you go. 3 simple adjustments you can put into your game right now to pick up some easy speed and start hitting some longer golf shots. Remember the simplicity of the terminology we talked about. Stronger grip, stronger hit. Give that a try. For a lot of you, you'll be amazed at how much farther you can hit it just by making that one adjustment. Remember looking for the 3 sides to a square between the trail arm and club shaft in the backswing and the lead arm and club shaft in the follow-through. The faster you can go from one relationship to the next, the faster the club's going to travel through the ball. And of course, for all the folks out there that are struggling with that chicken wing, getting that lead elbow more down, that's going to close the face, accelerating that club head, helping you hit straighter, longer flying golf shots. So if you enjoyed our time together, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, leave those comments below. Until next time, best of luck with your game.